Our story begins with a man who feels like his life has never truly been his own. His name is Kim Do-kya, an ordinary office worker trapped in a dull routine. The only thing that has ever made his life feel different is a web novel. For over 10 years, he's been the sole reader of a massive story called 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse. Everyone else dropped it long ago, only Do-kya stayed until the very end. Tonight, inside a quiet train car, he finally reaches the last chapter. But the ending isn't what he expected, no grand conclusion, just an abrupt stop. Still, Do-kya smiles. He was the only one who stayed by the author's side for a decade. He sends a short message of thanks, never expecting a reply. But instead of responding, the author sends him an entire file, the full manuscript. Before Do-kya can open it, the train lights flicker and the world grows quiet. A strange blue screen appears in front of him. The main scenario will now begin. Passengers stare in confusion as a countdown appears in midair. A warning flashes across the screen as a burst of light erupts inside the subway car. Passengers scream as something materializes midair, glowing and alive. Someone shouts in fear, "It's a dokebi." Kim Do-kya freezes as a familiar line from a novel rises in his mind. The train screeches to a stop and darkness swallows the cabin. Passengers whisper anxiously in the dim light. Do-kya tries to calm himself, insisting subways stop all the time. But dread crawls up his spine as the opening lines of a story echo in his mind. This is a story he's read for more than a decade. It shouldn't make sense. It can't make sense. Yet someone whispers, "... a dokebi?" A woman clutches Do-kya's arm and he mutters a shaky apology. His phone lights up with a passage from the novel describing the creature. The words spin in his mind as his vision blurs. Passengers gasp, staring at the creature floating near the train doors. Do-kya's breath catches as fiction overlaps with reality. The creature lowers itself, tiny, fluffy, with 2 small horns. Do-kya's inner voice says, "So we called it ... a dokebi." The crowd murmurs in fear while the dokebi smiles back at them. And in that instant, Do-kya realizes fiction and reality have collapsed. Inside the halted train, chaos spreads like wildfire. Passengers scream, cry, and beg the floating creature for mercy. But the dokebi only grins, enjoying the show. Kim Do-kya, meanwhile, stays eerily calm. Because everything happening right now is exactly like the novel he just finished. The dokebi announces the first scenario. Kill one living being within 30 minutes or die. The train erupts, people rush for the doors, but they're locked. They're trapped with the countdown ticking above their heads. Do-kya quietly backs into a corner. He knows the scene. He knows who panics, who breaks, and who tries to kill first. Right on cue, a panicked student grabs an old lady, shouting that one life must be sacrificed. Everyone freezes, everyone wants to live, but no one wants to kill. Do-kya watches fear consume them one by one. He feels the pressure too, but he also knows the truth. This isn't a test, it's a filter. Anyone who refuses to kill dies when the timer hits 0. And the dokebi is waiting for it, smiling wider and wider. Just as the old lady is about to be killed, an explosive impact shakes the train. Kim Do-kya wasn't acting out of panic, he was waiting for the right moment. A sudden explosion ripped through the train, shaking the entire cabin. Do-kya moved instantly, using the blast to knock away the people attacking the old lady. Now, his eyes sharpened as the shockwaves scattered them across the floor. The doors burst open through the heat and dust, the air trembling from the impact. Do-kya doesn't flinch. He had been waiting for this exact opening. He cuts through the smoke, scanning the wreckage with sharp, deliberate focus. He isn't searching for safety, he's searching for something specific. His eyes lock onto it. A boy gripping an item he doesn't even understand the value of. Do-kya moves without hesitation. A swift grab, a clean takedown, the boy hits the floor instantly. The item slips free as Do-kya winces, steadying himself. He pushes it back into the boy's hands, not out of kindness but necessity. Footsteps thunder behind him. Fear spreads across the cabin like fire. The trembling boy, the frozen passengers, the attackers trapped between survival and instinct. And Do-kya stands in the center breathing hard, but unshaken. He knows this scene. He knows this moment. He knows the rules better than anyone. And this is only the first move.